Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the news flash on Message Television with me, Vanessa Long. Let's open in an economic news story where Cameroon has officially joined Nigeria, Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire in launching the Cocoa Value Addition Alliance, the CVAA, a landmark initiative aimed at transforming Africa's cocoa industry by reducing reliance on raw beans export and increasing local processing. The four countries signed the Abuja Declaration during the Cocoa Value Addition Summit 2026 in Abuja this July 14, creating a regional coalition that represents nearly two-thirds of global cocoa production. For decades, the world's leading cocoa-producing nations have exported raw cocoa beans, while most of the processing, manufacturing, and branding have taken place outside Africa. As a result, producing countries and cocoa farmers have received only a small fraction of the profits generated by the global chocolate industry. Through the new alliance, Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, and Côte d'Ivoire will coordinate policies to promote local processing, harmonize industry standards, and strengthen their collective bargaining power in international markets. Another major priority for the alliance is developing a common response to the European Union's new deforestation regulations, which would take effect on December 30 this year. The rules will require cocoa exports to the EU to be fully traceable to individual farms and verified as deforestation-free. The four countries are calling for their national traceability systems to be recognized while ensuring that smallholder farmers are not unfairly burdened with compliance costs. Nigeria's Minister of State for Industry, John Owen Eno, said the alliance marks a decisive step towards ensuring African nations move beyond exporting raw cocoa beans to processing, manufacturing, and marketing higher value cocoa products. The creation of the CVAA also comes as cocoa producing countries seek greater stability amid sharp fluctuations in global cocoa prices, which have significantly affected farmers' incomes and national export revenues. Prominent Cameroonian lawyer and anti-corruption advocate Akere Muna has publicly challenged the role of Mrs. Nathalie Moudiki at the National Hydrocarbons Corporation (SNH), raising concerns about legality, transparency, and governance within the state oil company. In an open letter, Muna questioned the authority under which Mrs. Moudiki has reportedly represented SNH and chaired strategic meetings during the prolonged absence of her husband, Adolphe Moudiki, the corporation's Director General since 1993. Madam, you do not hold the title of Director General of SNH, Muna wrote, but for close to 3 years you have exercised its function in practice. The founder of the Muna Governance Center argued that no legal instrument has been made public authorizing Mrs. Moudiki to act on behalf of the Director General. She called on the government to clarify the legal basis for decisions taken in the name of the company and to ensure that the country's institutions operate in line with the law and principles of good governance. Muna also alleged that under her watch, the hydrocarbon company failed to properly account for certain operations that did not initiate legal proceedings within the 3-year deadline linked to the alleged oil trafficking exposed during the Glencore corruption investigation. The Glencore scandal came to light in 2022 after the Anglo-Swiss commodities giant admitted paying millions of dollars in bribes to officials in several African countries, including Cameroon, to secure favorable oil contracts. The case triggered renewed calls from civil society groups for greater transparency in the management of Cameroon's oil sector. As of the time of this report, neither the National Hydrocarbon Company nor Mrs. Nathalie Moudiki had issued an official response to the allegations contained in Akere Muna's open letter. The Yaoundé military court has resumed the high-profile trial over the murder of Cameroonian journalist and radio host Martinez Zogo, with attention focused on the testimony of cybercrime expert Jean-Pierre Ouloumou. Ouloumou, who was appointed by the investigating judge to analyze mobile phones seized during the investigation, returns to the witness stand after hearings were suspended in June due to fatigue. His forensic report has become a major point of dispute. Lawyers for the civil parties question why he recommended the release of businessman Jean-Pierre Ouloumou Belinga, one of the key defendants, arguing that such a recommendation went beyond his technical mandate. They also challenged why similar conclusions were made for other defendants whose phones reportedly contained no incriminating evidence. The expert also faced questions over allegations that he attempted to influence defense lawyers, claims he did not confirm before the court. Proceedings will continue with cross-examination by defense lawyers, beginning with counsel for Lieutenant Colonel Justin Danwe, a former senior intelligence official and one of the principal defendants. 17 people are on trial over the kidnapping, torture, and killing of Martinez Zogo, whose body was discovered near Yaoundé in January 2023. The hearings, scheduled over 2 days, are expected to determine the reliability and evidentiary value of the cell phone forensic analysis, a key element in the country's most closely watched criminal cases. Let's now take you out of Cameroon, where the Pastef leader and president of the National Assembly, Ousmane Sonko, made strongly worded remarks directed at President Bassirou Diomaye Faye and the current government, accusing it of not doing enough to improve the lives of the population. He went as far as threatening to bring down the government. In response, the political coalition backing President Bassirou Diomaye Faye issued a statement on Monday, 2026 July, condemning Sonko's comments and pushing back against his accusations. They described Sonko's remark as scandalous and personal attacks that he said were unworthy of his office as President of the National Assembly. The coalition defended the head of state, insisting that he remains focused on improving the living conditions of Senegalese citizens, while accusing Sonko of promoting a climate of constant political confrontation. Due to his unresolved tension, Senegal's president has begun preparations to establish his own political party, according to a coalition supporting the president. The coalition said in a statement issued late on Friday that Faye had instructed senior advisor Aminata Touré to lead a task force responsible for creating the new political movement. Let's end in sports, where Cameroon's men's national team head coach David Pago paid a morale-boosting visit to the indomitable Lionesses at the Mundi complex as they put the finishing touches to their preparations for the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON in Morocco. The Lionesses head into the tournament on the back of a confidence-boosting 3-1 friendly victory over Benin last Saturday, their final warm-up match before departing for Morocco, where the competition will run from the 25th of July to the 16th of August. A day after the win, Pagu met with the players and technical staff at the training camp, encouraging the squad and sharing words of advice ahead of the continental showpiece. He reaffirmed his confidence in the team's ability to represent Cameroon with pride. Cameroon have been drawn in Group D alongside Ghana, Mali, and Cape Verde, with the Lionesses aiming to secure a strong start in their quest for continental glory. And that was it for today's edition, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Messager Television. Happy viewing.
Le Messager Télévision, à l'écoute du peuple.